Now let's take a look at the Smart Controls. If you click on the Smart Controls button, you will see the Smart Controls open up at the bottom of the screen. And each instrument is going to have different Smart Controls. If we click on the Show Inspector button, or the Smart Control Inspector button at the bottom of the screen, you can see that the drum kit has keyboard sensitivity as one of its options for less or more sensitivity with the velocity level of notes you play. If we click on another type of track, you will see that it is showing recording settings, along with the recording level, automatic level control, input of the device that you're using. Right now I'm showing an aggregate device, which is really a device for the Mac that allows me to play the audio and the microphone through screencast recording. You may see something else, such as your built-in microphone of your computer, or maybe a microphone that you've inputted. It could also be like a guitar input. Monitoring, so that you can hear it playing back as you record in your headphones, and feedback protection if you're playing through speakers. It's highly recommended that you use headphones to try to keep feedback from occurring. And then there's a noise gate option at the bottom. Below that is a plugins dropdown where you can add plugins to the different types of tracks. And you can see a plugin list over here of the different plugins being used. And there's also Master Echo and Master Reverb for the master tracks. You can click to edit those here. If we click on the Master button, you will see the Master Controls for the master track. And this is the Smart Controls that will allow you to edit everything within the project, the main track of the project. And you can also see that there are the plugins being used for that master track. The Compare button is going to allow you to compare the edits that you're making with what has been recorded, so that you can compare them and see if what you're doing is something that you like or not. Next, you will see that whenever we change instruments, we're going to have different settings here. And these are to show you the different types of controls that we're using for each track. So this control is for this tracking vocal. Next to it is an EQ button, so that you can move the EQ within the track to your desire. You can also turn on the analyzer button of the EQ so that you can see the actual track as it's playing, its frequencies being played back to you. If we click on the drum track, you can see there are drum track controls along with the EQ setting also. If we click on a amp or guitar track, you're going to see the controls with the plugins being used and the EQ button. And then we have a couple other options over here to the right. The first is the amp button, and when we click that, it brings up a pop-up for us to edit the actual amp that this track is using. And we will go more in depth into all of these settings and controls later on. There's also going to be a pedal button so that you can use different pedals that GarageBand offers. And it's got a whole bunch of different kinds, and you can move them around and set them up however you want. Again, we'll go more into this later. If we click on the grand piano, you're going to see that there is actually an arpeggiator button, so that when you play a note, it's going to play arpeggios. And it brings up a drop down and the different types of arpeggios that you can actually play. So that is the Smart Controls, and we will definitely look into this more later when we begin mixing.